And so I got to this office, and the guy, at where I was supposed to work, he got a phone call from his friend saying, look, I need an architect urgently. Just send somebody to my office. And the man called his office, and I was in the office, and he said, okay, Ugo, just go to this other place. I wasn't prepared for the interview, I wasn't ready, I thought I was working somewhere else. And so I just took myself, got on the shuttle bus, straight on to the place where I was supposed to resume, a new place. And then I got there, and I met this very nice, you would understand why I said nice, very nice man, gentle looking man. And he called me into his office, the MD, for the interview. And the first thing he did was he sized me. He looked at me, and I said, I didn't know I was coming for an interview. I was just told, report here, and I had to report here. He said, okay, so where are you from? I said, I'm Igbo. Then his face changed. Then he said, where do you school? And I said, I named the school, Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University in Bauchi State. And he thought I said something else. He thought I said the name of the university he had finished from. And so I was saying Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, and he was hearing Ahmadu Bello University. And when I realized what was happening, I stopped him. I said, no sir, it's not Ahmadu Bello, it's Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. And then the guy flared up. 1, Omoibo, 2, Abubakar Balewa. Wow, okay. In essence, what he was saying is, 1, you're an Igbo guy, I don't like you. 2, you didn't school in the university, you don't school in the university, I thought you schooled in. And I said, and so I just stood there. And being the kind of person I am, I couldn't help it. I just started laughing. Because I was laughing at how myopic he could be, or he was at the time. How can you just look at somebody and size the person up and think that you know everything about the person? And I just started laughing. And he turned and looked at me and said, why are you laughing? I said, because this is strange. Why are you acting like this, sir? And then he said, are you the last child in your family? I said, no. I'm actually the third. I've got 2 older ones and 2 younger ones. And I started engaging him in a conversation about myself and my family. And the guy sat listening. And after a while, he just smiled. And he was weak. I said, go sit down, construct. And every day he would come into my office and tell me, I sack people at will. Know that I sack people at will. And in my presence, he did it. He was sacking graduates. And every day I'll go home and pray, God, please, let this man not sack me. I don't know what else I will do, please. And long story short, by the time I was ready to leave, he was begging, please, can you stay extra? And I said, no, sir. You didn't want me at first. I'm leaving. My time here is done. So yes, uncommon favors do happen. And it depends on what you believe. And it will work for you. If you believe it, it will work for you. Today I'm going to be speaking about success. Success. What is this definition of success, a life of success? We live in a society, in a world where success has been misinterpreted to be so many things. If I have a lot of money, if I'm wealthy, then I'm successful. True? Is it true? No, let's be honest. Forget the thing that we're in church. This is the world's principle. True or false? If I have influence, I know top people that can influence things, I've got connections. Is it success? Based on the world's principle, yes. If I have a lot of people who look up to me, I'm a celebrity. You like my fashion style, you like my whatever it is I do, am I successful? Yes. But is this the true definition of success? That is the question. It's easy to say no, it's not. But then a lot of us get carried away, living this life that is not actually the life that we're called to live. And we misinterpret it as a successful life. I have a degree, I have a wife, I've got 2 kids, I have a house. Sorry, I don't have a wife, I'm just looking at it. It's just an example. I've got a house and cars and everything, so I'm settled. So I am successful now. But that is not God's understanding of success. That is not what God defines as success. As we go on, we will understand. Now, I found out that fear is one of the greatest challenges that holds us back from actually trying to be successful at anything at all. Fear is actually one of those things that holds us back. And because of fear, then it becomes impossible for us to live to the fullness of life that God has called us to live. Because then we're thinking, but God, how is this going to be? How is that going to be? And how is this going to be? But you see, for you to be successful, then you've got to identify purpose. There is no success without purpose. There is no success without living in the life that God has called you to live. You know, many times we make the mistake of measuring our level of success with our friends. Oh, I'm better than Toby, so come on, I'm successful. Toby's just trying, he's upcoming. I'm already there, so I'm successful. But that's wrong. Because whenever you look back, there's always going to be somebody that you're better than. Always. Even the guy who is in the worst situation, when he looks back, there's always going to be somebody that he also is better than. So when you begin to measure success based on your friends, what is happening around you, what people are doing, how successful they are, in quotes, then you begin to limit yourself again. You begin to downgrade instead of living the fullness that God has called you to live. But the true measure of success is you and God. The true measure of success is you and God. Because God is the one who has deposited whatever He has put in you. And He's the one who requires you to bear fruit. And so He's the one who can look at you and say, yes, because of my deposit in this guy, he's living a successful life. He's bearing fruit. She is bearing fruit. You see, the world may look at you and say, oh no. But in the eyes of God, are you successful? The world may look at you and say, oh, thumbs up. But in the eyes of God, are you fruitful? Are you living the purposeful life? The life that He has called you to live. And you are the only one with God who can answer that question. You can deceive everybody around you, but you can't deceive yourself, and you cannot deceive God. And you see, another true checker or measure of your success is time. God has given you time, and He has given you season. Why do you think we have 365 days in a year? For each day, you are supposed to make a move. For each day, you are supposed to have an accomplishment. And so at the end of the day, you begin to measure yourself. Have I lived the fullness of my life today or not? You know, some people live 10 years and they die. Some people live 20 years and they die. Some people live 30, they die. Some people 50, some 100, some 120, and they die. The guy who lived the longest in the Bible, Methuselah, what was the record about Methuselah in the Bible? What was the record? Nothing. The Bible just records, and Methuselah lived so number of years and died. And there are people who didn't live that long, but the Bible has chapters and chapters and chapters of the things they did. So your life, your success is actually measured in time. Not how long, but the seasons of your life. Identifying the seasons of your life and running. God is a God of purpose. When we go back to the Bible in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, when God created Adam and Eve, when God created man, God said, let us make man. How? And why? Why? Bible. Okay, let's go to Genesis 1:26. God said, let us make man in our own image and after our likeness, and let them have dominion. Yes? God wanted them to have what? Dominion. God wanted them to rule. God's purpose for man was to have dominion. God is a God of purpose. And if God is a God of purpose, and God created you, and He created me in His image and after His likeness, it means that God expects us to pursue a purpose. If the character of God is purpose, then if you are like Him, you should also do what? Pursue purpose. And when you are not pursuing purpose, what is happening? You are not living like Christ. That character of Christ does not exist yet in you. Ecclesiastes, let's go to Proverbs 19 first. Proverbs 19:21. Anybody who finds it, preferably King James, NIV version. Proverbs 19:21. Proverbs 19:21. Anybody said it?
Many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails.
Many are the plans in a man's heart, in a person's heart, but it is God's purpose that prevails. The Message translation says, we humans will keep brainstorming options and plans, but God's purpose prevails. As human beings, we keep making plans. Oh, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. This is where I'm going to go. This is what I'm going to do. But at the end of the day, whose purpose prevails? God's purpose prevails. This also shows us that God is a purpose-driven God. And you might be asking, then how can I know my purpose? How can I function in that God has called me to function? At the capacity He expects from me. What can I do? The only way to function properly and live a life that is full of purpose is to identify what God's purpose for your life is. You know, David was in the bush throwing his slings, you know, and getting them lions and all the other wild animals. David did not think that one day I'm going to be a king. David was just what? Serving. He was busy serving somewhere. David identified a need in his father's house. And the need in his father's house was that somebody had to tend the sheep. Somebody had to go into the forest, into the bush, and look after his father's flock. And David said, I'll do it. And David was busy giving service. He identified a need. And he realized, oh, I can give this. Because when it's almost time, just let me know. When it's almost time, just let me know. He realized there was a need. And he began to function in that capacity. And God picked David up. Now, many times we mistake talents and skills for purpose. I am talented. I am a good singer. I am a good dancer. I am a good painter. I have the skills. I have this talent. So that's my purpose. Singing. No. Your talent actually is a tool that is given to you to aid you in your purpose for life. And that is why David, with his skill of throwing the sling, when he was picked and he went to give his brothers food, and then he heard the Philistines saying, oh, bring your God and I'll defeat your God. Whose God is the greatest? I am the greatest. There is no God. And David stood up and challenged it. David identified a second time a need, and that need was to prove to this Philistine that his God was the greatest. And the moment he identified that need, God used his tool to aid him in that purpose. So your skills and your talents are actually tools and not the purpose itself. I've been told that I have very, very few minutes left. So I'll just rush through. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. Let's go quickly. Anybody who finds it, please read.
To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heavens. Again, God uses times and seasons to identify our success. God uses times and seasons to identify our success. So to everything God has given you, to the seed He has deposited in you, there is a time for that seed to grow, and there is a time for us to begin to see the fruit. There is a time for us to actually pluck the fruits from your tree. You know, many times we get carried away. We're looking for accolades. We're looking for people to endorse us. We're looking for opinions of people. We're looking for who is going to help me get up there. Who's going to help me become successful. Who's going to help me do this. Who's going to... Oh, everything that you need has been put in you. The future you are actually pursuing, it's actually a past that was created in God's past. And He put it in you. From before the foundations of the earth were formed, God knew everything about you. And He deposited a seed in you. The moment you were conceived in your mother's womb, when we read Psalms 139, I think. You know, the moment you were conceived in your mother's womb, before you were born, God knew everything that you will become. So it was finished. Everything about you was written in the books of God's creation. Everything you were supposed to finish. Oh, by this time and season, so and so is supposed to have accomplished this. By this time and season, you should be here. By this time and season, everything was written about you. So it's a past that has, a future that has been completed in the past. All you need to do is to bring it out to existence. Fan it to flame. Bring it out to existence. And bringing it out to existence, you understand God's timing, God's move. And you begin to function. But many times we get carried away. We're blaming people. Oh, he didn't help me. That's why I'm not here. She didn't help me. That's why I can't do that. This person didn't help me. That person didn't help me. Meanwhile, God is saying, I have given you all that you need. It is in you. I have given you all that you need. All you need to do is bring it out. And quit blaming people. Quit. Stop blaming the people that didn't help you, the people that didn't send you money, the people that didn't look out for you. And just focus on God. When Jesus Christ came to the earth, God had a purpose for Him. And so Jesus knew that going up to the cross was not His end. Because the purpose for Him coming was not the cross. I hope you know that. The purpose of Jesus Christ coming was not the cross. The purpose of Jesus Christ coming was not even the grave. It wasn't for Him to die in the grave and be buried in the grave. The purpose of His coming was not even for Him to resurrect. That was not the purpose of His coming. The purpose of His coming was for Him to make a permanent atonement for sin. To bring us back to God. That was the purpose. And until that purpose was fulfilled, death could not hold Him. The grave could not hold Him. Couldn't keep Him in. Because that was not the purpose for His coming. The purpose for His coming was to make atonement. And that had to be fulfilled. And the devil understood it. And that's why he came with the option saying, look, all you need to do is bow before me and I'll give you all these things. The purpose of His coming was not even the earth. Because from creation, the earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof. His purpose was to unite us back to the Father. And He was successful in that aspect. So what is your purpose? What is it that God has called you to do? The new semester is starting. What is it that God has called you to do? What is it that He needs you to do? What need have you identified? What need have you made yourself available to meet? What need One of the prayers I prayed a lot while I was growing up is, God, I want to be a solution. I never want to be a problem to my family.